Hi, this is Pastor Slash here, Joyful Noise, and we've been at Kingdom Bound, as you know, all week, and I'm here with the man whose idea this all was, Kingdom Bound Ministries. This is Pastor Fred Caserta, and Freddie, you know, a lot of people, Kingdom Bound's been around now for 13 years, and you want to maybe kind of give a little history about how it kind of all got started?
Well, I'll give you the Reader's Digest version. How it got started. 1984, I was saved, and I was kind of waiting on God's direction, although I didn't know I was waiting on God's direction because I was such a baby Christian. But what happened is I got a phone call from a guy named Rick Kua, who wanted to know, he had heard I got saved and wanted to do a Christian concert in this area. And I said to him, "Why are you calling me to do a Christian concert? Don't you have an agent?" And he said, "No. I have an agent, but he's not doing a good job." And at that time, I really felt the Lord was telling me I needed to get out of this. I was the secular rock and roll business, a promoter, an agent, manager. And I felt that I didn't want to go back to it. I had had an accident and fractured my knee and my hip. So I was home, and I spent a lot of time. And when you're laying down, the only place you can look is up. And God really began to deal with me, and I just knew that I couldn't go back to that lifestyle and living. So I was just basically crying out to God, saying, "God, use me any way you can. I know I'm available. It's not ability, it's availability." So with that, I started booking Rick Kua. He said he'd pray about it, and I began to be his agent. And I saw things all around the whole country that were happening, and there was nothing like that happening here. And I said, "Man, how can we do this?" So there was a bunch of us guys that had gotten saved, and we were meeting on a weekly basis, and we were doing a radio show. And the Darien Lake, the people that ran Darien Lake at that time, the manager of the park, had found out I got saved, and he called my friend of mine and said, "I want to talk to this Caserta guy. I hear he's a Christian." And so I said, "Okay." He said, "But tell him not to call me till October 1st. Well, in the interim, he drove out of this on Route 77 one night and hit a truck and died. So the guy that took his place was inquiring why he was going to meet with me. We had a meeting. Long and short of it is, out of that meeting came Kingdom Bound. They asked us if we wanted to do a Christian day, and we said, "Well, we don't have the money." They said, "Well, what would it cost to do a Christian day?" So we put together a whole budget for them, and Darien Lake put up the funds for the first 3 years, and they lost money, and that's how Kingdom Bound started. And then from there, our ministry was birthed, and this is the end result. This is 13 years, so God opened the door, and God continues to open the door, and we just thank God for all of it. And if it wasn't for prayer and people like you and people that are out there helping us network this thing, by spreading the word, this is how the events become what it is.
Amen. Well,
is that a mouthful?
Yeah, I want to say, well, thank you. I mean, because, you know, we probably wouldn't be doing the show, as I mentioned to you earlier, if it hadn't been for Kingdom Bound and the opportunities that we were able to meet the right people. So there's been a lot of networking things that happened too. But did you ever think that 13 years later that, I mean, Kingdom Bound with birth, now you're doing one, you got a Great Escape event going on in upstate there, and now you're doing one clear down in Florida next year. Did you ever think it was going to grow to this point 13 years later?
No.
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 Plain and simple.
Plain and simple, no. And you know what? I don't take anything for granted. I don't take this event or any event. We just pray that we're really hearing God's direction in everything we do. That's the scary part. We don't want to go ahead of God. I mean, you know, it's like we are doing these other events, and it's like, okay. But I know the Florida thing is a God, because it's just the way it's coming together. And our ministry spends a lot of time in prayer. We have a weekly prayer meeting, and if you want to know what makes Kingdom Bound successful, is the prayer, because the Father of God just hears this and
Amen.
Takes it from there, buddy.
Well, I want to know you are in our prayers.
Please,
ministries, and
please,
thanks and praise to God
please.
For it every year.
We need Him. Yes. We take all the prayers we can get, and we thank you for coming here, because it's everybody that helps contribute to this event. So God bless you, and thank you for being part of it.
Well, thank you too. Well, this is Freddie. We want to send you back to the show.
Be together. 10 years. Well, how old are you?
30.
How old is